Hi guys, so in this video I'm basically gonna show you how to improve your cursive handwriting. And my cursive has been through a lot. Back in 10th grade, my cursive was basically illegible. Now that I'm graduating 11th grade, so I'm going into 12th grade, my cursive has been much better, as you can see right here. These are just some samples of my cursive handwriting just to give you like some ethos and all that kind of stuff. But basically my cursive has improved a lot, and I really wanted to improve it because of professionally when you're doing a signature, and also just for my bullet journal, and also for like myself, I want to improve my handwriting because I just wanted to. And just to give you an idea of how much my cursive has improved in this past few months, this is a page that I did back in December 2016, and this is what my cursive looked like, and versus 2017 June. This is how my cursive currently looks like. And as you can see, my cursive has improved a lot just by doing this whole process. And also recently, I got back into the realm of literature, not only because I have summer reading assignments, but I think summer is just the perfect time to dive into some novels. That is where Audible comes in. Audible has an unmatched selection of audiobooks, so for the past few days I've been listening to The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, and it's been pretty interesting, definitely a really good read. And also, if you use the link audible.com/study, you can get a free 30-day trial and download your first book for free. It can be The Alchemist or just any book you choose. I'll leave a link in the description. So before I get into the process of how I improved my handwriting, I'm gonna go over some basic tips that anyone should know before doing cursive. So the number one rule is basically do not do sharp turns. And as you can see, this is an over exaggeration of one, but basically this was back in July 2016, and my cursive back then was horrible. It was like okay, but it was getting better. So cursive should look curvy and it should flow well together. So when you do transitions from one letter to the other, as you can see from the J to the E, it looks really curvy, right? It looks really shaped really well, and it looks just nice. But when you do that with like a sharp small turn, it just doesn't look appealing. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but one main rule for me is to make cursive look curvy. And the second main rule that I really want you to grasp is basically that cursive does not have to be in one continuous line. And what I mean about that is basically what I'm showing you here on the screen. This is an example of what will cursive look like if it was in a continuous line. And basically what I'm preaching is that it's okay to take breaks between each letter. And as you can see here, I'm just demonstrating how I like to do cursive. So for me, I take breaks between each letter, or if I don't, I just maximum do 2 letters together. But yeah, that is my second rule, and these are the 2 main tips that I've been using on myself, and I've seen a drastic difference. These are the main 2 things that I think will improve anyone's handwriting. So just make sure to take some breaks in between each letter, and also make sure you don't have any sharp turns. Before I get into this video, I just want to say that my new pins are here, and I love them so much, especially the rose. So if you don't know, I have an art shop that I sell art and other stationery products. So if you want to check them out, most of the proceeds will be going to the Trevor Project to celebrate Pride Month, and basically the Trevor Project donates money to prevent suicide among the LGBT community. So if you want to support my shop down below, click the link in the description. But now let's get into the process of actually improving your cursive. So the first tip is actually finding your inspiration. And I said this in my last how to improve your handwriting video. I'll leave a link in the description, or you could click the top right corner. And basically, find your inspiration, whether that be your friends or like a Instagrammer or someone like that. And Journal Sanctuary has this really nice guide. I'll leave a link in the description. And basically the guide helped me a lot through my own cursive. And the first tip that she gave us is basically do not be afraid to use different heights. And what that means is basically your letters don't have to be all the same size. One can be bigger than the other, and make sure it looks good. The second thing is when you're writing letters like A, D, H, and K, you can see that they have like a loop or like a downward stroke. Make sure it looks accentuated and exaggerated a little bit, and you can see that from her example. You can also follow my Instagram, and I have a lot of posts that have cursive in them. And here's another example of my headers that I do. This one is for January. And yeah, that is basically my first tip. So what we learned in this tip is basically just find your inspiration, find that person that has perfect cursive handwriting and copy them. What I mean about copying a person is basically trying to mimic their cursive. Because if a person has like really nice cursive handwriting, that means they know what they're doing. So just try to copy their features of their handwriting and just try to mimic it basically. So going back to Journal Sanctuary, I'll leave a link to her Tumblr blog and also her Instagram. She is an amazing bullet journalist and she has amazing handwriting and amazing cursive handwriting. Make sure to follow her and I'll leave all the links in the description. The second step is finding your own pen, and it's a really quick process of just trying out different types of pens from felt tip to ballpoint to gel pen and just finding out what type of pen you like to use the best. And you might not think that this is an important step, but I can show you that my cursive changes drastically depending on the type of pen. And personally, I like to use felt tip pens or gel pens. I know for ballpoint pens, my cursive just doesn't look that good. And also with any type of marker, my cursive is just really bad. And if you want to see any of the pens that I am using currently, I'm using a Muji pen right now. I'll leave a link to all the pens that I really love in the description box down below. And basically find the pen that your cursive looks the best with, and for me, I think my cursive looks the best with a felt tip pen. Before I get into the third step, I basically want to say that cursive is a really easy thing to change. Just like your handwriting, cursive is really easy to manipulate and to make it into your own. So basically all you have to do is practice. And if you practice enough and you practice a lot, you can get really quick results. And that's what happened with me. I did cursive about almost every day, especially because I was keeping a bullet journal. I did cursive as much as possible. So every time I was writing a quote down or a header or even the day of the week, I would just do it in cursive. And if you follow my approach of practicing your cursive, you can probably see results in a few weeks and you could see big results in a few months. And if you want to get quicker results, what I recommend is to write everything in cursive for one day. And what that means is that if you write down your name, write it in cursive. If you're writing a letter, write it in cursive. And you might not think practice alone would improve your cursive, but it's kind of like a sport. If you practice more, you'll improve more. So just practice as much as possible. That's what I did, and you saw in the beginning of the video, my cursive improved a lot. So this is what happened in June last year. Now fast forward until December, this is what my cursive looks like. It actually looks like a downgrade. But after December, I planned to do cursive every single day. I did it every single day, and now my cursive looks like this, which is a big difference if you ask me. So what I recommend is basically practice as much as you can. And I know I didn't include everything that I would like to include in this video, but if you have any trouble with cursive or if you have trouble with a specific letter, I know I had a lot of trouble with doing B's and P's, leave a comment down below and I'll do my best to respond to everyone, and I wish you the best luck on improving your cursive. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!